Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors, a Work Tough Gear Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday rendition. We're out at the studio, and I just had a work day, so I'm using the NITEMARE 3 designed by Shaney over at Shade Indonesia. Great design. I actually love this thing. I EDC it quite a bit. It's made of SK85. Now, I'm not doing specs in this video. I have several hard use videos on the NITEMARE 3. I'm also going to be using the proper chopper designed by Zeke Minacho. Hard use videos on that as well, and both of those videos or several of those videos have specs. No need to do it here. What we're doing is just basically, I wanted to do a shelter build. Now, I haven't been to the studio in a couple weeks, if you haven't noticed that. So when I got over there, I'm like, we got some work to do, some clearing out to do. So I thought we'll shoot a video using Work Tough gear. What better to use on a hard work day like today than Work Tough gear? So we're going to talk about it a little bit. Before we get too far into the video, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, stats are everywhere. We talk about it all the time. We focus on the number 0 here. We're not a charity. We don't do a lot of charitable stuff. Once a year, we usually do a raffle where people donate exclusively to charities. Nothing comes to this channel. Not a single solitary thing. Okay? Make that clear. But I say that because I think people misunderstand. Our goal is to raise awareness, and vets, the number that we focus on here is 0. Anything above 0 is simply unacceptable. And all that means, I said all that to say, hey, we love you. You got a place here. We're back to Blue over here. We support Lil, all to the chagrin of many. How do you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. So here's the deal, guys. I actually EDC this NITEMARE 3 quite a bit. I love it. It's a kukri style. It hits incredibly hard. It's got that fantastic heat treat that Work Tough gear does. The handle is flared at the bottom so you can get some power. The top is misunderstood. It's very thin. It is a thin top handle. It's made to be for flick cuts, flick chops, etc. You'll notice that most of the time my hand's about midway. I get a good grip on it, and we can really bring it. This thing being SK85, I get asked a lot, Scab, is it easy to sharpen? It's a high carbon steel. It's very easy to sharpen in the field. The heat treat on these are amazing. And you can see, and you'll see throughout this video, just putting in work, doing all kind of different stuff. Some of it I sped up just a little bit because it was a work day. And you can see right there, we're looking north, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm just shaving up some sticks, and I laugh and cut up about making punji sticks and spears. But I want to make a primitive camp here. So what I'm doing a lot is just kind of cutting down some deadfall and cutting down some thinner stuff because it's got to come out anyway. And I'm going to wall it off. So what my goal is to have a solid wall of sticks and have kind of a cool little campground in this area. You see that fence right there. The cool thing about this place, guys, is it's right in the middle of a damn neighborhood. But when you're out there, it's like you're in the woods, and I love it because we'll be able to have a lot more control. When I'm in the swamp, I love being in the swamp, love taking Work Tough gear in the swamp, love taking Work Tough gear anywhere. But I can't really control the circumstances. Here I can, and I think it's going to be awesome. Now again, to my dear tree hugging friends, this stuff's got to come out anyway. And we're going to cut it out if I can learn to speak. Couple things that I like about the NITEMARE 3. Any type kukri style is going to hit hard. And this thing hits insanely hard. Yet, it can be sharpened to a razor edge. I've got it pretty sharp, honestly. But you see right there, we're not swinging it like a buoy. We're kind of flicking the wrist there at the end. Just some good, solid chops. And this knife is conducive to doing that, okay? Now, in just a minute, we're going to swap to the proper chopper, which is an absolute hand axe. Till we get there, the thing that I like about the NITEMARE 3, the main thing is its chopping power. However, it's thin enough. Now, it's 1/4 inch thick, so it ain't thin, but it's not a sharpened pry bar. But you can use it as a machete style. Old Scabber's having a stroke today, so I'm having a hard time talking. You can do basically anything with it. And that's what I tried to show. Just right there, a little flick cut, a little pop cut. That's what that handle's for. Not everything has to be some big, thick fence post that, you know, I get it, Grizzly Adams. But at the same time, if you learn to use the knife correctly, it's a devastating, not only tool, but weapon. It's held up insanely well. We're going to hit some hardwood here in a minute as well. This is just kind of some soft foliage showing you kind of a machete style here. That stuff right there, guys, when it dries out, one, the limbs, the trunk itself, all these things start off as weeds. I don't know what it's called, but it starts off as a weed. But that part you see me right there just kind of chopping up and hacking up, all that turns black. Now, the stems, the sticks, the trunk, it burns like absolute rocket fuel. It's not lighter knot at all, but it burns as hot and as fast as lighter knot. And good Lord willing, I'm going to do a camp out this weekend, do a shelter build with a Kodiak, do a camp out, and I'll try to get some footage up of that fire, because it burns so damn hot, honest to God, it sounds like a fan blowing. Now, we're going to this is an absolute monster blade. I don't give a shit who you are, because people say, oh, you could use an axe. Why? This thing is big, it is heavy, and it hits insanely hard. And again, it's SK85. It can sharpen up very, very well. I was going to give you a look at the blade, and then I said, no, I'm not going to do it. Now, one thing I am doing is we're taking out, again, this is the area we're going to make a primitive camp. So a lot of times, especially for the video, we'll just cut them off kind of, you know, shin height. I'll come back through and cut them up and dig them up, because I want this to be a flat surface. But watch right here, guys. Now, I wanted to address this too. In all of these Work Tough Gear videos, I swing about 70 to 75%. Every now and then I'll do a short where I'm chopping for time on a 4x4 or something like that. A lot of times with these videos, I just want the knife to work right here. Here we go. See what I'm saying? I'm not coming out of my shoes. I don't have to with Work Tough Gear. One, the heat treat's spot on. Two, the edge geometry's always on time. Always. The damn things are tanks. Again, Joe X proved that. And if he'd have never done the video, you don't have to convince me. I've swung enough Work Tough Gear to know that it stands the rigors of any hard day's work, all right? Much less anything else. But Joe did do it and did a fantastic job, so shout out to him. But again, right here, and I wanted to bring that up because I'm not coming out of my shoes. When I first started doing these videos, I swung for the downs every time. Well, had I continued doing that, one, it was going to go straight through and I was going to wind up getting hurt. Two, it takes away from the knife. While I'm not the QVC, the goal is to show these knives working and to show how the knife works, right? So if I get just haul ass and swing it as hard as I can, and again, it's Work Tough Gear Wednesday. Please check the channel for shorts. YouTube's not going to do anything to help me do that. That's cool. And I'm not upset at all. We got to make our own way, right? That's why we do shout outs. I said that to say I put out a lot of shorts, a lot of different stuff. If you don't mind, check out my channel. I've got a lot, especially today, a lot of Work Tough Gear shorts. I'll probably do some chopping shorts for time, some 4x4s, some 2x4s, things like that, where we do go all out. But right here, again, you don't really have to. Now, this is one I'd already cut down. It's just kind of hanging there. Look at the bite that thing's getting. And we're not swinging hard. Quick pop of the wrist, bam. We're going to do it again. Right here, bam. Thing just works, man. I absolutely adore, and I mean adore, the proper chopper. I'm going to take it with me to Blackie's. You'll see it a lot in the upcoming Work Tough Gear Wednesdays. Now, if we get some more in to demonstrate, then we won't. But a lot of what you're going to see out at the property is the proper chopper, because I've got a ton, and I mean a ton, of wood to process. And you can see right there, I'm EDCing that NITEMARE 3. Great combination for the southeast swamplands, and that's what we're in. All right, down in northeast Florida, I'm in Green Cove Springs. A lot of water around me, a lot of water. Absolutely adore it. So for me, this is a tremendous combination. Now, I do use my blade paste, either my Eagle's Tears or my Carnivora. I coat them down because it is a humid, even in March. I think it was like 90 today, or 90 yesterday, Tuesday. Today it's supposed to be a little chillier. All right, right here we're going to hit some hardwood. Now, the outer edge is rotted and dry rotting. So I thought, well, I'll go through it. The core is solid as a damn rock. And then I'm going to let Kurt take some swings. Got about 2.5 minutes left, something like that. Overall thoughts on this combination. And I know we've kind of talked around the horn today, and that's okay, because if you've made it this far, you're one of the guys who are with there's a certain group, man, that watch all the way through, and I'm so super duper appreciative for you guys. My thoughts on this combination are, this is a combination I carry a lot at the studio. If we have a work day, or if I'm in the swamp and I want to clear out a spot, I've got several spots in the swamp, guys. After the incident a couple weeks ago, there was an incident last night, kind of, sort of. I've made me a couple spots where I can hang out and observe in the swamp. This is a combo I carry. It's light. The NITEMARE 3 is light. It's fast. It gets it done. A kukri is not only a tool. Obviously, it's a weapon carried by some of the most badass soldiers in the world, the Gurkhas. Can I swing it like they do? No, of course not. But I can swing it with a great and powerful force. I promise you that. So it's good for that if I need it for self-defense, because I know you were asking. And then what you're seeing right here with the proper chopper. Now, let me just say this. If Sasquatch is running at me, I'm not going to go, wait a minute, let me get my kukri. If I got either one of these, I'm good to go. Can swing for the downs. Here's a good look at that edge, guys. Now, from here, Kurt's going to take it and just do some straight chopping with it. There we go. Appreciate you, Kurt. And again, that's a piece of hardwood. These edges, man, I'm not going to say they're indestructible, because if you're a dumbass and you hit steel or something like that, of course it'll chip. But in the southern woodlands, we've tried to find some hardwood, tried to find things like that. No chips, no rolls, no damage. Perfection personified. Barely spit it out. Listen, guys, I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for taking the time. I don't ask people to subscribe. I would ask you to give me a like, leave me a comment, leave me your thoughts on it. I'll try to get out a good couple of camping videos this weekend, and again, do some kind of primitive shelter build. If there's something you want to see on a Work Tough Gear Wednesday, leave it in the comments. A particular knife you'd like us to revisit, something like that, I'd be glad to do it. Listen, I'm Scab. You're not. We're going to let Kurt chop us out. I'm gone, son.